Whoa! Buenos dias! It is so good to see all of you and welcome here to this very huge event this weekend. We're so excited to have you here. And I got to tell you, I've been here since Thursday, and I've gotten to know a lot of people that I had not had the opportunity to meet yet. And I am so really geared up about what's about to happen for Flash Mobile here in Mexico. I've never seen anything like it. As Larry told you in his opening remarks, we happen to be the fastest growing mobile provider in all of Mexico. Exciting thing to be able to say just within a very window of time. And I want you to know that those types of things don't just happen. There's a lot of work and a lot of behind the scenes in order for something like this to occur. And there's a lot of people that are behind the scenes that work tirelessly for all of us. And they're there every single day at the home office in Mexico City. And they get there early and they stay late. In fact, I had the opportunity to meet the entire staff on Thursday. They were kind enough to give me a tour because this is my very first time of being in Mexico City. Isn't that something? It's so exciting to be here. And so they were kind enough to take me on a tour, and I had the distinct pleasure of meeting a lot of the executive team at the world headquarters. And it was so reminiscent for me to think about the early days of ACN and how people just were passionate about what they do and how they just wanted to pull together and work together and do something great together. And I'm telling you, I have never seen a greater talented group of people that we have at our home office in Mexico City, and I just want all of you to help me to thank them for all the work that they did to get us to this point. Let us show all their appreciation. So I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for them that they carry out the day-to-day operations of this company. I'm so grateful for Larry Raskin. Isn't it a privilege to be able to work with a gentleman like Larry Raskin to come every month for the last 28 months? Can we show him how much we appreciate him and all the things that he's done? And then I had the distinct pleasure yesterday of being with a group of tremendous leaders, executive team leaders and above. We spent about 2.5 hours together. And we shared some things, didn't we? We shared some thoughts, we shared some ideas, and I know now that the leadership in Mexico, they got their full armor on and they're ready to take this marketplace by storm. And I'm excited about what happened last night. And I'm even more excited about what I see here this morning. You know, this room is packed from front to back, from side to side. And it's all because of all of you see a tremendous opportunity here with Flash Mobile. I know how badly some of you need something like Flash Mobile to work for you and your family. I know why you're here. I know the reasons why some of you are here, because you want something to work so bad, because everything that you've done up to this point hasn't worked to the magnitude that you thought that it was going to work. And now you're taking a look at a brand new opportunity called Flash Mobile. You're taking a look at an opportunity that is so unique. In fact, I believe that the majority of you in this room really don't know how unique of an opportunity this is. Can I share with you a little bit how I think how unique this is for you? Because I think that it's important for you to know. I want you to know how rare it is, folks, to be a part of an opportunity, to be a part of a company that's been around for 25 years. And yet, in your country, be at a ground floor pace where all the great growth has never happened yet, and all of you are going to participate in it. Isn't that something? So, I would like to ask all of you a question. I love asking questions because I want you to think a little bit, okay? I would like to ask all of you a question. With all the success that you've seen the parent company ACN have over the last 25 years, starting in 1993 is when we kicked everything off. With all the success that you know that we've had for 25 years, how many of you wish that you could have started with ACN 25 years ago? Oh, you say that now. Because it looks like, of all the success that things have gone really well for the last 25 years. But I'm telling you, 25 years ago, it wasn't the same opportunity that you see today. So can I share with you some of the early days of ACN? Because I think it's important for you to understand where we've come from and what brought us here, and then I want to talk about where we're heading. Is that a deal? All right, first of all, let me tell you, we put ACN together in the fall of 1992. And I say we, it was myself, Mike, Tony, and Robert. And we all came together at a point in time where we were just sick and tired of being sick and tired with the things that were going on in our life because nothing seemed to work for us in our careers. We looked for other companies that we could participate in, but there wasn't any other company that we could put our faith and trust in. And so we got a real wild idea. Here was the idea. We said, why don't we just put our own company together? Why don't we put together a company that will operate like the types of companies that we were trying to find, but we couldn't identify? And so that's what we did. And we really put the company together in about a 3-month window of time. October, November, and December of 1992. And it was a very simple concept. And here's what we told some of the original people. In fact, we only had about 20 people that still believed in us because we failed at so many other things. There were a lot of people that thought that we were crazy and that we would never make it. And they were probably right. But these 20 people that we started with, here's what we told them. We said, number one, that the chances of us making it are so small. But if we do, it'll be the ride of your lives. Now, some of those original 20 people are still with us today. How do you think they feel about the decisions that they made to be a part of ACN since the very beginning? They feel pretty good, right? Some of those original 20 people are no longer with us today. They quit. How do you think they feel about their decision? Can you imagine seeing that opportunity in the early days and letting it slip through your fingers? Wouldn't that be tragic? But here's what else that we told these people. That we are not going to get wealthy at everybody else's expense. That we were always going to give back to the people that helped build ACN. And that's what we did. And that was our thinking and that was our philosophy. And we started in January of 1993, and it wasn't pretty. Just understand, in those early days, we had no one to point to that was successful because there were no success stories. There were no regional vice presidents. There were no senior vice presidents. We were just beginning. And all that we had was hope and a vision to paint to these people. And we felt that if we painted a big enough vision, that they would. And that's exactly what happened. Now let me tell you, we had one product when we started. We had long distance phone service. How many of you in the room remember the long distance portion of your phone bill? Do you remember those days? Remember? What was your household like mine? That if you ever made a long distance phone call, you were going to get slapped in the face? Don't you dial 1. Is your household the same way? Let me tell you what else went on in my household, the way that I grew up. If you were in the refrigerator too long, that door was open too long, my dad would get out of his chair and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Shopping? Close the door." He had to shut the door. That's the way it was. But in the early days, that's all we had. Long distance phone service. And it represented, listen, the long distance phone service represented about the same average bill that you are now experiencing with Flash Mobile. It was nothing more and nothing less. Okay? Here was the situation in the early days. Every time that we switched somebody from their long distance provider, which was AT&T, MCI, or Sprint, they were the predominant players back then. Every time we switched one of those customers from AT&T, MCI, or Sprint to ACN service, 100% of the time, those carriers would send a check to the customers that we put on ACN's books. And the deal was, it was about $50 US dollars or $100 US dollars sometimes. The deal was when they endorsed the back of the check, they were allowing those companies to switch them back to the original provider. Now, how often did it happen? 100% of the time. That means every time you got a customer, you had to fight to keep that customer. Do you think that we had to get good at customer acquisition? Yes or no? Do you think that we had to get good at teaching the consumer about how they should stay with ACN's phone service? We had to do that. And yet, even with all that adversity, where every household represented about 10 US dollars, and every customer getting a check, with all that adversity, within our first 5 years, ACN was the 22nd fastest growing company on the Inc. 500 list. Let me tell you about our compensation plan. Here's the reason why I want you to know this, folks, is because some of you don't know what you don't know. You really don't know what you have right now. And I want to make sure before I get off this stage that you really know. Okay? Our compensation plan In the very beginning, in fact, for the first 2 or 3 years, we paid 2.5% residual income on the 7th level of commission. 2.5%. Now, what do we pay in Mexico? 6%. Now, in the early days when we paid 2.5%, everybody was still excited about the ACN opportunity. People were getting thousands of customers. People were gaining residual income. Residual income for our IBOs, our brand leaders at the time, was tremendous. So recruiting was up. Customer acquisition was up. Everything was going good. And we decided that we were going to make a change. And what we decided to do is that we were going to go from 2.5% to 4%. Now, why did we decide to do that when things were going well? Because we said from the very beginning that we were always going to give back to the people that helped build ACN. Do you have any idea, folks, what that meant to people? It wasn't just the added income. It wasn't just the increase in residual income. It was the fact that they knew, maybe for the very first time in their lives, that they were with a company that followed through with what they said that they were going to do. And it sent a shock wave of confidence throughout the entire sales organization. And many of you know that today we don't pay 4.5% on the 7th level because we went from 2.5 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and now in North America we pay 8% on the 7th level residual income. Here in Mexico, we pay 6% residual income. And I'm here to tell you that we are not going to get wealthy at your expense either. That when things really start to go well and momentum really starts to kick in and we got a bunch of volume coming through the system, that we're going to do the same thing here that we did in North America long term. Are you at all excited? I am so excited for you, I can't stand it. You know, the other part of our compensation plan in the early days is not just overriding residual income on the 7th level, but you get paid personal residual income in the compensation plan. In the early days of ACN, you couldn't get paid 10% like you do here. You could only get paid 8%. And you know what you had to do in order to get paid 8% personal residual income? Can I tell you what you had to do? You had to have, listen, $10,000 a month in personal billing volume off of all of your personal customers that represented about $10 to $15 a month each. And once you had $10,000 worth of billing, you got paid 8% personal residual income. Now tell me something. What do you have to do today to get paid personal residual income in your compensation plan? Did you say 40 points? Give me a break already. Is it a little bit better today? Just a little? Let me ask you a question. How many of you have one of these? How many of you have one of these? Is there anybody in this audience that does not have one of these? Do every one of your children have one of these? Can I tell you something? Because I don't know if you really understand what we have. Can I just get into your hearts a little bit right now? Are all of you has this become important in your life? How important is this device? Is it really important? So, can I ask all of you a question? If you leave your house and you left this on the table, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How fast are you going to go home to pick up this? Like now. Now. Yes? Listen, let me tell you how important it is. Some of you, if you left your kids at home by mistake, you wouldn't go back and pick them up. But there's no way in the world you're leaving this at home. This has become a necessity. Yes? Long distance phone service was not a necessity. I got smacked when I did it. This everybody uses. And it doesn't matter if you get it from Flash Mobile or not. Everybody is going to use one of them. How often? Every day. Not every other day. Every day. And you got companies like Telcel and AT&T and Movistar that spent billions of dollars so that they can earn money off of this. Do you understand that? Billions of dollars so that they can earn residual income off of this. you spent 5,250 pesos. You have just as much opportunity as they do. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you can get residual income just like they're going to get residual income? Do you understand that you don't have to advertise to get residual income? All you got to do is go talk to people and you can get residual income off of something that people are going to want, need, and use every single day of their lives. You can never pay this off. Thank God you can never pay this off. Can I ask you a question? If ACN can become the 22nd fastest growing company on the Inc. 500 list with long distance phone service, and every time we get a customer, those customers got a check wanting to get that customer back. If we can have the success that we've had with just that one little piece, can all of you really get a sense for where Flash Mobile is going to be 5 years from now? Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea what you have in your hands right now? Whatever you do, folks, listen to me. Don't allow anybody to tell you that this won't work. I didn't come here to Mexico City just hoping that people are going to get interested in Flash Mobile. I came here because I know, in fact, I wish that I could put my head on your shoulders for about 2 minutes so that you can know what I know and you can see what I see about what is about to happen for you and your family with Flash Mobile if you don't quit. One of the best things that I can tell you is that we want what you want, and you want what we want. Isn't that good? Do you understand that Flash Mobile can't win unless you win? Do you understand that? Do you understand that Flash Mobile cannot acquire customers unless we show you how to acquire customers? Yes? Do you understand Flash Mobile can't generate a lot of revenue if we don't have a good quality service to give to the consumer that. Does that make sense to you? So we want the same things. We want you to build your company within a company. The good thing is for you is you don't have to build the company. You don't have to worry about home offices. You don't have to worry about staffing and systems and employees. You know, all that you have to do is talk to people. Can all of you talk to people? Can you tell people about how wonderful of an opportunity this Flash Mobile service is? Can you talk to people and how wonderful of an opportunity it is to get on the ground floor of something and have a 25-year-old company that's strong and very well financed and very well established as a parent company, driving this whole thing from the bottom up so that all of you can do some great things for yourselves and for your families. Can you talk to people? Listen, our game plan, it's important for you to know where we're heading. Because the only way we can get there is if you build your company within a company. Does that make sense to you? By the end of 2018, we aspire to be a $150 million revenue producing company in flash mobile service alone. The end of 2018, folks, is only about 18 or 19 months away. That's it. So do you understand in the next 18 or 19 months, we're going to go from where we're at today to, I believe that we have a good chance to exceeding $150 million of revenue by the end of next year. And that does not mean anything to you unless you build your company within a company. Because it doesn't matter how big Flash Mobile gets. The only thing that matters is, how big do you get? Yes? So, let me talk to all the brand new people that are in the room. Let me see a show of hands. How many of you are brand new? You're here for the very first time. Very good. We want to welcome you. So can I share some thoughts to the brand new people that are in the room here today? I know that you're seeing this for the very first time, and maybe you don't know a lot about Flash Mobile, you don't know a lot about the mobile industry at all. You've never done anything like this. But here's what I can tell you, is that you can't deny that there's an opportunity here. Wouldn't you agree with that? Can you really get a sense? Can you feel it? Can all of you feel it deep down inside that there's something special going on with Flash Mobile service right now? Can all of you feel it? Can all of you see how we can become a $150 million revenue producing company by the end of 2018? Can you feel that? So there's no question about where we're going. In fact, I haven't even touched further international expansion into other Latin American countries. Once we solidify and have a good foundation of leadership in Mexico, there's plenty other Latin American countries that are going to welcome this opportunity in their country. So there should be no doubt in your minds about where we're going. We've already done it. This is not research and development. This isn't like the early days where I told the original people, I don't know if we're going to make it. The chance of us making it were so slim, so small. I don't have to say those things today. I can look at you with confidence and tell you that we're going to build something great here in Mexico. We're going to build something great throughout all the other Latin American countries, because these people, your people, deserve a tremendous opportunity that has a track record like the ACN parent company has. So there should be no question, folks. There should be no question in your minds about whether there's an opportunity here. There's tremendous opportunity here, but I want to warn you about something. I don't ever want any of you to think that this is going to be easy. I don't ever want you to think that it's easy to make a lot of money. Because look, if it's easy to make a lot of money, that means that the opportunity is not real. I believe that anything that's worth anything is worth paying a price for. Wouldn't you agree with that? Do you understand that there are people... Do you understand that there are people that join Flash Mobile Service and they never make any money? Do you know why they don't make any money? They don't do anything. You can't just sign up for something and don't do anything and expect to get rich. That's not the way it works here. But if you do something, if you follow a simple system and where we have a track record for 25 years, you can increase the odds for you to be successful, maybe for the very first time in your lives. And I know that some of you are just hoping and praying that this could fit with you. As I told you earlier, I know how bad some of you need Flash Mobile Service to work for you and your family. You know why I know that? Is because I know how bad we needed ACN to work for us when we started ACN. If ACN didn't work for me, folks, I'd have no idea what I'd be doing today. No clue. I wake up grateful every single day for what's happened to me and my family because of the ACN opportunity. And now we want to provide the same or better of an opportunity here for you in Mexico. So, there should be no question whether there is an opportunity. You can't deny that there's an opportunity here. The only question that may be going through some of your minds is, can I do this? You know, I've never done anything like this before. I've never talked to people about mobile service. I've never talked to people about making some extra money. Never. Well, I'm here to tell you, I came all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, all the way here to Mexico City to tell you this. You can do this. And the reason why I can tell you that you can do this is this. Is that I know all of the leaders in ACN. All of them. I know all of the leaders, I've gotten to know them, all the leaders in Flash Mobile, all of them. I know all the senior vice presidents, all the regional vice presidents. I know all the Circle of Champions. I know them personally. I know their families. And I happen to have some inside information on all the co-founders. You'll get that in a minute. What I can tell you is this. What I can tell you is this. There's not one person that I can think of, not one, in all those groups of people that I just mentioned that possess superstar talent. Not one. In fact, 90% of the people in all those groups that I just mentioned have never done anything like this in their lives. All that they did was they plugged into a support system. They plugged into a proven track record system. And they allowed us to teach them. If you knew where we've come from, listen to me, 25 years ago, there would be a good chance that many of you in this room would have never followed us. We had to grow into what we do. You're going to have to grow into what you do. See, we have the same doubts, fears, worries, and hurts as you do. We're the same. We didn't know whether or not we had what it took to see this thing through. We questioned ourselves every day. But thank God that He allowed us to see this through, to provide an opportunity for all of you. And now it's whether or not you can see yourselves being coachable enough and bringing a good work ethic to the table to allow you to have the success that you so richly desire to have for you and your family. See, I know if I asked the question of how many of you would love to be in a position to help your family members if you could, every single one of you would raise your hands. I know if I asked the question, how many of you would love to be able to take care of your parents? I know that every single one of you would raise your hands. If I asked the question of how many of you want to have your children live a better life than you've lived, I know that every single one of you would raise your hands. I'm telling you here today, on June the 3rd, 2017, you have found your home. And you don't have to go anywhere. So I'm here to tell you, this is a special time in Flash Mobile history. I want you to know that we're going to have two events today. We're going to be in front of about 3,000 people. 3,000 people that chose to come here on a Saturday. 3,000 people that are serious about Flash Mobile service. Do you understand? 3,000 people is like a little scratch of the amount of people that we can go talk to in all of Mexico. Wouldn't you agree with that? Do you see that there's unlimited amounts of people to go talk to? Unlimited opportunity if you learn how to do what we're going to teach you how to do? Over the next 3 to 5 years, folks, you could be living extraordinary lives if you're willing to pay the price. If you're willing to work hard. If you're willing to sacrifice. If you're willing to do what most people are never going to do. And that's the reason why they struggle and they just in survival mode for their entire lives. But if you're willing to do just the opposite of what most people are doing, there's a great chance that you'll win. And you'll be a part of all the growth that's about to happen for Flash Mobile. I can't wait to see what's about to happen for every single one of you. This is such a special time in the history of this opportunity. This reminds me of our very first year of ACN in 1993. And here, there's more opportunity today in Mexico right now than there was in 1993 for ACN. And look what happened to us. Can you see what's about to happen for you in Flash Mobile? So thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. Have a great day. Look forward to spending the rest of the day with you.
Flash Mobile. Eres tú, somos todos.